Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working in my little paper bag journal. It's got other kind of papers in it, but it's got a good bit of a variety of paper bags that I chose. Things will be ate out, so it'll give you kind of an idea. I wanted to make the whole thing paper bags, but it didn't quite work out. And I'm sorry I have to skip the sneaky peek today. I got to go down to the shop and get another book. All right. I wanted to show you this unique closure. This is a Subway bag. And I just put two eyelets here and two eyelets here. And then I use this string to tie it together. And it holds it together really well. As long as I don't go outside of my border here, I'm good. And then you just kind of untie it. And I thought if you wanted to keep it in place, you could actually tie a knot on the insides here where it won't, be flopping out or away from you and get lost. But other than that, you could just leave it as is. I decorated the front with a little bit of scrappies that I had laying around. I think Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy sent me maybe that. I had a wooden button from long ago. I had covered it with a napkin. That's a rose. And I just kind of put it on there. This is sort of grungy, shabby chic, I guess you could say. So I had this lady, one of the portrait dolls, and I loved her. And I wanted to give her a little bit of color. So I colored in with some alcohol markers, her roses, and a little bit of her lips. And I did give her a skin tone, but, I thought they're always milky pale back then anyway. And that's about the way it was with my great-grandmother. She actually used cream on her face. She would, coat it with cream at night and powder it and then go to bed. And I guess she thought that kept her face moisturized and everything. Well, here is the Subway bag. And I've used the backgrounds, I think they call them. I got one here and one at the back. And I thought this really looked like it's sort of a not exactly sewing, but material and fashion and kind of a theme as well. So this is where this is the base of the bag. I put the two eyelets here, so it created a natural pocket. And the pocket goes about that far. About like that. And then you actually have a little tuck here if you wanted to use it for something that's triangular in shape. And then you got the big pocket at the top. And then I just kind of covered it. I made it a hidden spine. So it's on a piece like a cardboard down in there. And as you can see, I've got little pieces and parts in here. I already stamped in a few spots and put a few things in. I've done a little stenciling already. I know you're probably shouting at me, especially you, Phyllis. But yeah, I just I piddled with it. I wanted to have fun, just not have to do anything on screen and everything. This is some texture paste I used up at one little pot that I had. And I had a fern stencil and a beehive stencil. Now here's one of them. It's the sugar bag. Now, I had to debulk my bags. I thought I could put them right in here, but they just were too big, and I just couldn't do it. So I've got little pockets of things in here. This was from Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. I think she sent our 5-item swap challenge in that. And then I have a lobster. The biscuits, they put the Cheddar Bay biscuits in. I got that in here. Now, I mean, you can leave it like that. You can gesso over it. You can cover it with something. I thought this could be a little journal I could work in. So I'm kind of giving you a flip through as I'm doing it here, so you kind of see what I've got. There's the other side of that. And then some of the pages I put in portrait orientation. And then others I did in landscape, and I staggered them as well. I also did a little bit of that texture paste over here. I did a lot of inking as well. I wanted it to be really old and kind of grungy looking. A few of these are what they call the antiquarian pages. Carrie the Crafter, C-E-R-I, he did these a while back. I love those things. Antiquarian pages. but it's pages you'd go ahead and prep up and have ready to go. And all you did was you put ripped pieces of paper in like 3 spots on your page on one side, and then you inked or you stamped with a script stamp or something to go in the background. Then you took those papers off and you had those kind of empty pockets, and you filled it with some kind of stamping. And it was really cool. He even colored up some of them at that one time. That's a pharmacy bag. So as you can see, and that was a little piece of the pharmacy or somebody's bag that came through. And I just kind of decorated it, just a little stamping. I'm not sure if that was to go over here. It probably did. And that's another one that was pink. And it has some similar. I went ahead and just put them in here. The Tim Holtz vellum, I think, is so dark. I don't get much out of it. So I'll put it against these real light backgrounds. So that was a Webster's Dictionary page somebody sent me. Here's another pharmacy bag. It's like this. Well, I cut the bottom off. So if I wanted to put anything in it, I would have to glue this shut. Otherwise, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking, what could I do with it? If I can make it like a large belly band in a way. I mean, just stick something in it to store. And then I have either end to get it out of. We went to Panera's and got us a lemon drop cookie. And then I taped this together with washi tape to something else a little further back. We have a flour bag in here. This was a technique where you take and you put your texture paste down, and then you put embossing powder on it. Then let it dry. Then you heat emboss it. And it gives it a whole lot of a higher grade of texture than you know, just regular embossing. And then my friend Andrea B. sent me this. Really beautiful. I think she said this was avocado dye. And I think she put alum or something in the water to make it this color, whereas it was like a really pale green. And you can see here where I did the 2 orientations of the paper really well. But yeah, I have a McDonald's cookie bag and the other end of the pharmacy bag. And I liked all these different levels here. Now, this one I had in the pouch for the things to go in this journal with the Victorian or Art Deco or whatever I was calling it. And I had made this up to show you one time in a video. And it's my piano side tuck. Yeah, it's a side tuck, but it's got little pockets here as well, where you can put smalls, I call it. Little tiny thing. Oop, I need to re-glue that. What happened was I saw a hole on this side and I glued it. And then I glued this in it. So I had to trim this all the way off to get that out. So that's why this piece is over here. But this is a very shallow tuck. Oh, I'm telling you. So then we have a little bit of, like I said, the fashion sort of sense to it here. A little more of the fashion. And yeah, it's just kind of this and that. I just had a little bit of a stamp. We're going to stamp up or glue up there. And a little bird to put maybe here. This is a bag from the Pet Westwood Animal Hospital. It's our vets over across the next road. And I love this. I did a lot of texture paste and dribbling and ink splunching and all kinds of stuff. But we are going to get in here and glue down what I've got loose first. Then we're going to put this on the top up here for a dangle. I didn't leave any ties to hang inside, but I love this because it had the scissors and the sewing theme to it. And we're going to use this ring fastener. We're also going to work on, I saw, who was that, Gail? Yeah, Gail. I've been seeing everybody have these these tag things around a tag kind of a situation. You tie it, and then you put it in a pocket or something, but you can put several things in there, and then you can slide it out. Well, instead of putting it in a pocket on her show the other day, she actually glued this whole piece down on the back. but it was where you could still slide this in and out. And I really like that. So I'm going to do this from scratch on another one I've got. And we'll find a home for it in here. Okay. And thank you for coming and putting up with me today. I do have some of my adventures to tell you about. So thank you in advance for putting up with that. Let me see I need to get one of them weighted things that everybody seems to have nowadays. Let me have a little ticket here from Scrapbooking with Me, a little scrap that's left over from that piece that I glued in and had to cut apart back there. Got a flower, a bird, and a butterfly. And I had done some stamping here with a couple of little stamps and gave it like a grungy look. But, okay, let me get to figuring this out. I thought I could put that'll probably go on last. Oh, I was going to put it with this, that's right. So let me go ahead and put a little glue here. Okay, so our first day we stopped in Charleston, like we always do. We do our cemetery obituary lookups. So he's got a piece of paper all set up for us, and it's in date order, so it's easy to go through and look for all of that. And then we always get a good meal. We got a Red Lobster and an Olive Garden just up the road there. And then we head down into the back of Beyond. So we get down there about 8 p.m. and unload everything, get our stuff organized in the house, and then we start to pull out our computers and do our thing. Well, I've got something on the end of this nose here. There we go. And start to figure out what we found and see what we needed to check off. We needed to get our lists kind of worked out on what we were doing when. We have places we intend to go, but then we have where we don't know what the weather's going to be like. You never know over there. So, yeah, it was raining. It went to turn into rain that night. So Saturday was a bust for us, basically. We couldn't do nothing. Couldn't get out in the cemeteries and stuff because I needed to draw some maps. And so we just drove around to see what we could see because it was dark when we came in the night before. See what was changed, what had burned down. I think everything was still standing, so, lucky for it. I inked the wrong, or I glued the wrong side down because I inked that side. Oh, well. Okay. So, anyhow, that was all we did for a couple hours. I think we went out and ate. Then we headed back to the house, and we needed to figure out what cemeteries we needed our buddy Julius to take us to. He lives just next door. He's Furby's brother, and he always takes us to the real hard-to-get to ones in his side-by-side. Always fun to ride in that. We hadn't been in that for a long time, so we had to get up these really steep hills, and me being decrepit, I couldn't climb up, or I refused to climb up some of them. I think that's how it was, because I did not want to climb up some of those hills. All right, I can't put that there. His tail's going to stick out, isn't it? Let's put him on the ground. We'll do that. And so, yeah, we just kind of went back to the house and played around with our stuff. We always have a bag of unknowns we have to go through and see if we know where they could be buried. And he always keeps up, there's these cemetery or funeral home sites, and he keeps up looking through all of them through the year, and he'll write down anybody that's in any of the cemeteries that we're going to either be doing or that's in a book we've already done. So, he had 15, or no, it was more than that, it was like 20 something. I just mashed these ear lobs there. He had about 20 of them for this one cemetery. So that's basically what we did the next day. We actually got to get out because it quit raining. Yay, yay, yay. And we got to get on the road. So we went and found our next, that big cemetery. And where it's at, we had two others that we went to. It's just a piece of vellum. I'm going to ink it up a little bit. And so we went all around to those two below and then the one big one above. And I'm telling you, it was cold. Oh my gosh, was it cold. The wind was blowing like crazy. We were freezing. We had to go back to the car 2 or 3 times because we were up there looking for these people. Plus, we were mapping it so we could redraw the map. What we were doing is updating and putting back out an updated version of the cemetery for the newer people that didn't get the one from before. So, I only had one pair of gloves. It was this pink pair. Well, we ended up sharing it. He had one piece and I had the other. But, got the job done. One hand didn't freeze off. Then we got done with that one, and I think we headed to a couple of other cemeteries, and then we just went on back to the house and worked on what we found. That's usually what we do. We'll go out, we'll find something, we'll go back, and we'll work on what we found. That's curling a little bit on the edges, but I don't think I care. That kind of gives it an old appearance. So that was a successful day for us because we did that all on our own. We went down to the mouth of the creek and went to one there. Now, there was this one situation. We had been told about this one cemetery. This person told us a couple years back. And, of course, sadly, the guy had already passed away. So we couldn't re-ask him. But the way he worded it, it sounded like he was talking about a person being buried there, and then another 2 were buried there as well. But he could only tell us one's name was Chick, which of course is a nickname, and then the other one was an older man that got killed in the 60s on that creek. That didn't help us much either. So, and he was trying to describe where the house was. Then Zach gets with another man that lives on that same road, and that guy's describing where this person's buried. And it ended up being a whole totally different creek. It was the next creek over. I don't know how they got that so wrong. Now, this little gorgeous guy came from Jody Martin's Happy Mail to me the other week that I showed you. So I saved it, and I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to ink it a little bit too. So Monday the 11th, we were going to head out and try to find that grave, which we finally figured out what creek it was on. You actually come down off of the other creek we were told it was on, and it was almost straight ahead of us. It comes down like to a T intersection. So we had saw a lady in the yard in the house right before it, and we went up the driveway. They said the house had burned on the gentleman, and then his son buried him there a few years later when he passed away. There was a falling out because he should have been in another cemetery altogether up the creek with all the family. I really like this, but I hate to say I'm going to have to cover it. I'm trying to cover up this hallmark and connection and everything. So it's going to go right here. This was a piece of paper. Also, I'm trying to cover up a good bit of that orange. This was a piece of paper that I had this. I was trying to do some kind of special effect where you send it to your printer, and I had a doily on it. Well, the doily kind of almost got ate up or something. Plus, you can see where I taped it down. But anyhow, I'll try it. I'll try to do it again with maybe a bigger piece of doily or something to get it to come out right. Okay, this piece, or this section. I've got two envelopes in here. Here's one of them. And I glued it down all the way over here. So, you know, I really don't have a pocket. But I have a little bit of a pocket here. And then you can also put one under here if you wanted to eventually. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I don't know how many pockets I want in this thing. That's the thing. Here's another piece of vellum. You know what we're going to do. So yeah, we go down. We go up the hillside. Park where the house burnt, because you can see the charred remains and everything. And he's supposed to be buried up on the hillside, up in the trees or mountain. It's basically going up the mountain. We couldn't see nothing. I kind of walked down to where this little holler, it went around a curve and went up a little holler. Well, I went down there, but I didn't see nothing. I saw a doggy laying up in there, but that was it. Oh, so, you know. we decided to go next door, and where that lady was walking around. Well, that ended up being a Glenn and Tammy Messer. And they said that he was over there, so the gentleman, he takes us over. Well, before that, though, he comes to the door, and I said, we're cemetery hunters. Oh, my God, that's probably the wrong thing to say. But anyway, he's looking all tall and big and intimidating and everything. And I'm sitting there, and it's like he started giving us the third degree on what we were doing and when we were doing it and all that kind of stuff. So we finally was trying to describe what we did. We went around and inventoried cemeteries, and we put it in a book to sell, and we were trying to get them recorded before a lot of them were, you know, just gone and forgotten and that kind of thing. Anyhow, I told Zach, I said, we're going to have to start carrying one of our books around with us, which we did have one in the car, so I had to run back to the car. And he finally figured out what we were doing. And then they actually recognized us. We had fans all over the place over there. They knew of us, and probably had seen our Facebook page, or had gotten one of our books over time, you know, whatever. But so anyway, the coast was clear after that, after they figured out who we were. And then he became real friendly and took us over and showed us where the grave was, which it was almost right there where the little doggy was laying. But yeah, oh my gosh. And another time, we went up another holler, because we're working on Stone Cold Necks. That's where my grandparents come from. It's going to be in one of the future books close to hand, maybe a couple years. Yeah, there was a guy up there. He was trying to figure out what we were doing. He thought we were collecting cemeteries because the mine companies were going to come in and buy up the property or something. Like, what in the world, these people? Oh, no. We had to explain, no, we're just going around and recording them and, you know, writing down and researching them and stuff. I guess nobody figures anybody that's sane would do anything like that. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Well, anyhow. So, success, we found Russell Messer. And we also found a lady that wanted to buy one of the books. I think he had an extra one when we got back. When we got back home, he had one that we never did find the girl or meet up with the girl that wanted that one. So he was going to go ahead and sell that to her. And I think she'll probably want the next one because that's where their family cemetery's at. All right, let me put this little guy right here in the corner. And we have birds. I had this little piece. I'm trying to use up all these little scraps and things I have. I thought I'd put that right there. It has something to do, I think, with sewing. So I thought I would add it in. And kind of put it right here where it's kind of a blank area. That adds a little bit more interest. And I had this wax seal. And that color there goes with that color really well. So I thought I would pull, how does that work? Yeah, it's just a sticker. Pull my wax seal off of here. The problem is it's got that white border on it. I don't like that. I don't like that white border. Let's see if we can trim that off real quick. So what did we do next? Okay, so Tuesday we went to Inez, which is Martin County, Kentucky. That's the county seat where the courthouse is at. And we almost always find people married there instead of over on the West Virginia side. And I think it's because it was so easy to just go across the river and get married somewhere. Someone was saying, I think Zach was telling me, though, they had to travel to the courthouse to at least get the license. But, you know, I don't even know about that. Because I know a few people that got married at the courthouse. We found those marriages. Gosh, I put that thing back on here. Now I can't get it off. Might have to give me a minute. Alright, I got it off. It wasn't easy, but I did. Okay. I think we're just going to kind of stick it like right there. Yeah, that's good. I don't think I needed to put any glue on it. It was still pretty sticky. Yeah, so we after we did that, we went over to the newspaper office, and we also found a whole lot of obituaries over there, because that was closer, and the more recent burials are over at the Mountain Citizen. So that kind of rounded out our day. We went, found somewhere to eat, and then we went back to the house. It's like a pattern. We have a place to go, things to do. And the next day, Tuesday, we had to deliver a book, one of our newest ones, and it was to Loretta Bragg. She has a floral shop over there. She does really beautiful arrangements, and does them for a lot of the funerals that happen in that area. I don't have anything in this. This was a rectangular doily. I think Tommy sent this to me, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. And I thought I would do something with putting color or splashing things on there to try to do something to it. And I think I ruined it. And then I put texture paste over it the other night and dulled it down a little bit. So if I put something over it, the edging will be perfect to frame something. I think that's how I'm going to play it. Okay, anything else? I did put this little tuck in here because of all this blue. I put this little blue and yellow butterfly because he kind of goes with that as well. That's a little tuck for something. And then we have this flower. I did these. I stamped those down. And let me see if I need this again. And I did a little bit of, you know, dribbling with pink. I think that was Victorian velvet on a tea-dye paper. And then I think I tried to do some other, something got dribbled on there. Anyhow, it's giving me a little pink. I needed a little pink. So, yeah, so we always get to talking with Loretta, and she fills us in on all the happenings around and stuff like that. But she just loved her book, was pedaling through it, seeing what she could see, and thanking us for all the stuff we do. There's so many people that can't get out to some of these cemeteries that, you know, and we have started to put photos in them, which is, you know, a good thing. Especially some of the really old, unique stones. We always used to just put the information in and just one picture of the cemetery layout, or, you know, a view of the cemetery. Now we're putting that plus a few of the more interesting stones in there, which is great. They're really loving that. We listen to our public. They said that's what they wanted. All right. Next, I have 2 signatures. This is the next signature. I love how that thing turned out. And I've reflected the beehive or honeycomb over here. Now, I've got this little guy, and I've already stamped on it a few times, but I thought it needed a little bit more. I've got another one of these stamps from Scrapbooking with Me. I think she put these out at Valentine's. I think they were a freebie. So, if you're interested, I picked mostly the ones that had flowers. There was couples on quite a few of them, and I didn't get those. Since it was Wednesday, we were to meet up with our buddy Arlene. She lives up Stone Coal, and she was going around with us and showing us where some of the cemeteries were up there. Zach had like a list that he had found out about, and he was trying to figure out where they were located in preparation for when we did go up there and work on that creek. Well, there was still a few that we just couldn't find. We went up this one, the right fork. We went the right fork of Stone Coal, and right up at the very end, we get to a house, and there was a guy out there working in his garage, welding or something, and he come and kind of talked to us, and he was under the impression we were collecting cemeteries because of the miners, and or not the miners, but the coal companies. They were going to come in and they needed to record where all the cemeteries were. He was the second one that had some kind of weird idea about what we were doing, and we just don't understand. I guess, and it's hard, over there, you never know who's going to come up on your property and ask her this or ask you all these personal questions, and we don't want to, like, make anybody uncomfortable or anything. So we were telling him, no, we just do cemetery books, and we said, Arlene here, she lives up the left fork, and was just showing us where some were. I also wanted to find a little family member. She's not direct family, but it was Grandma's brother's little girl. Had passed away, and she was buried up there. And wherever she was buried was going to be really close to where my family lived, which I had never really figured out where my grandparents' cabin was. They had this big old X-shaped cabin, and they had one room in the middle, and there was a room on each end, making it the X shape. Well, Grandpa, he would always sleep inside the middle room because it had no windows, and he always worked in the mine at night and slept during the day. So he needed a place to rest where he could not have to go through the sunlight, have the sunlight shine in on him. So it ended up wherever that cabin was. See, it was Grandma and her husband and family, and then it was her sister Janie and her husband and family. Then it was her brother Harrison and his family. So it was quite a few of them, and they all lived side by side. Also, Leif Salmons, their half brother, he was up in there. So it ended up being this one little flat area that is where they were said to have lived. We found a guy, and he was able to tell us, because nobody could remember where Dewey Spalding lived. Wherever that was is about where the cabin stood. And so I got that information this trip, which I was so thankful. So now I kind of know. Next time I go back over, I'll find a little bit more out about the area and all that. I kind of thought that flower kind of resembled this flower. It's what it kind of looks like to me. So I'll put more to this probably later on. Maybe not. Who knows? Oh. So yeah, that was a successful trip up there. We actually had Arlene to take us over to Jenny's Creek, where she knew where a little grave was over there as well. So she was able to help us on that creek. And then we took her home, and then we went back, and we had a cemetery we saw up on the hill that we had wanted to get that trip. It was the Darnell Cemetery. And so we drove. It was kind of like a house and a barn and stuff. We kind of went between to get up in there, and I parked at the base of the hill, and then I walked on up, and there was a little boy on a four-wheeler. He kind of went by, and we waved at him, you know, and let him know we was there and we weren't doing anything bad. He must have went down and told his grandpa, because then he comes up on his side-by-side, and he's coming up there to see what we were doing. So we told him it was only a small graveyard, so we'd already collected all the graves. And we started asking him about some of the people there and gathered a little information. And then I was asking him about in Kermit and a few other things that had to do with his family there. We had a good old time. We was there for like 45 minutes talking to him. Oh, but that's what it is. We just, you know, we'll find people and talk to them and kind of, I guess you could call it, interview them, ask them things. So that was fun. Okay, we are done with that. So I don't have any more loose pieces in here, so I can set this baby up. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get my pokey tool, and I'm going to poke a hole in this cover, or the spine, I should say. Where is my pokey tool? There it is. Okay, got my pokey tool. So we're going to go in right between here and stick it in about right there. And I thought I could use my crocodile, but I think that's too big. I don't need anything that big. See, I'm coming out that side, and I've got a thick piece of cardboard there. That's what's holding everything together. Let's see if that did it. I'll keep that out just in case. Now, these are ring fasteners. They're by Tim Holtz, and they're like a, what do you call it, a brad. They're just like a brad, but there's a little loop there instead of a nail head, and it has the ring in it. And then all you have to do is bend that down, and then I'm going to thread it through from the outside in, right here. Make sure it comes all the way through. Come on, baby. There it is. It's coming. I just need to tilt it the way, yeah, there we go. I needed to tilt it to where my my brad pieces were going to go up and down. See if I can get in between there. It's taking me a minute. A hot minute. All right. There we go. All right. So that's down. I don't think it's going to interfere with anything. And you really don't see it. But see, there's your little fastener. Isn't that cute? You can use these for all kinds of stuff. I tightened it so that doesn't want to spin around on me now. Let me get my tool. Alright, I had to get some of my jewelry making stuff here. I don't know if I'm going to have to use both or just one to get this. Ooh, maybe not. I might be able to do it with, well, shutting it, I'll have to do it with two. My hands aren't that great anymore. Whee! There we go. That's all it took. And here's our little dangle. Isn't that cute? Now I could lay flat. It doesn't have to be bulky. I didn't know what it would be like when you opened it. So it's not that bad. I don't know if I would want it up higher. I think that's about the perfect place for it. See, it's got a little ruler on it, a scissors, a button is in there, and a rose, I think. I think that's all I see. Yeah, well, that's cute. I like that. I got that at Hobby Lobby for 74 cents. Can't beat that. All right, now I have this little thing over here. I got to get this out of the way and pull over my next little project we're going to work on. Get everything out of the way. Okay, so Thursday we got with Julius. We had to book an appointment with him. He said his armchair kept him really busy. So we had to book an appointment. Oh, so anyhow, he came and got us out of bed at 8 a.m. Oh, I'm telling you, that's a little too early, especially for me. So, okay, here's just a piece of paper scrap that I had. And the other tag, really large tag that I have it's about roses. And it sort of has those colors in it. So that's why I chose that. Plus the inside, I have the, like, fashion kind of thing. Now you can open these. They're going to be glued down. And if you wanted to, you could open them. Or you could just slide your card in and out. This is a master board I did long ago. And I had these little things from the Mente junk books that I cut a little lady out and put inside like it was a cameo. But yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so what you're going to want to do, that's my inside, this is my outside. I need to figure out where to go and fold this. I think I'll just fold it right there. Yeah, I can see all of that word if I do. And I think it'll be just right. So you just want to, I guess you might want to figure out how big you need your piece to be beforehand. Or you can just do like me and wing it. But you want to at least have it a little past the middle so you can cut it down. Because you're going to want these to butt right up against each other. And you can actually just wrap around if you wanted to. And then cut it down. Now the other one I made just a little, it was a little tight. And I did let that dry, but it's still cracked on me, but we're going to ink that, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, where's my pencil? We're going to go ahead and put this down to here, I think is where the middle is. And then we're going to cut that here. I got a little bit of a rose left, but I got a big one there. Okay, let me trim this off with my cutter. Had to go over and get it. And let's see what we can do here. Where did it go? There it is. And this little piece you're going to cut off, it's a pretty little rose. You might be able to put that somewhere else. So, Mr. Julius, he gave us 10 minutes to get ready. And then we hit the road. Yeah, that's pretty. I make a little tiny tag or something out of that. So, he come back, he got us, and I think we went around to 12 cemeteries that day. Because we were trying, mostly it was to get GPS coordinates, but some of them did have new people that had been buried there. And then we're kind of looking around and, oh wait a minute, I shouldn't ink yet. I need to cut my edges off. So I've got this credit card, and I'm going to use that right there. That one's like perfect size. So yeah, he took us around. He was a good sport. I think he enjoyed himself. He kind of had a good time with us. I think we were out about 4 hours. And then we get back, and he said he had a bologna sandwich with his name on it. So we let him go. I think his easy chair was calling his name too. Who knows? So we went and decided to do the rest of them ourselves. And then we had trouble. This one we just could not find. It was supposed to be at the Block Cemetery on Left Fork. We tried to find it. It wasn't at the one. There's 2 of them on Left Fork. And see, you want it to be just like that where it meets the other one. So we tried to find it and had no luck whatsoever. We still don't exactly know where it's at. So we went back and we said Julius, he was sitting on his porch then. He'd already had his bologna sandwich. He said, we need your help again. And what had happened was we got a couple ladies that we visit when we're there. We park in their driveway and we walk up to a cemetery. And we always go by and just let them know what we had been doing. And we talked to them about the cemeteries. The one lady, the daughter, she actually works at the library, and she's gotten some of our books there before at the library she works at. So she knew what we were up to. But the daughter gets on her phone when we told her we couldn't find this lady, or guy. It was a guy. It was two of them we couldn't find, but she talked to her uncle, and he said it. The guy was buried up at the old block cemetery. Not the one we went to, but the old block cemetery. Well, of course, we went to the wrong one. All right, I'm using these little page protectors, or whatever you call it, that I had cut out. And we're going to put those on here. I think I need to gauge where they need to go first. So yeah, he took us up there, and we couldn't. There was a new lady up there that had just been buried, but it wasn't the person we were looking for. That's always the way. We get so many. We get misinformation, or what had happened. The guy had got cremated. So what happens then is, I guess they just dig a hole, and they didn't put any kind of marker or anything on him. I don't know if he ever will have one. So, oh well. I guess we're just going to put him down as being there, and his ashes were scattered or something like that. So, but we still never found the other lady. We don't know exactly what the deal is. I think he's going to see if he can find somebody to ask. Could even ask the funeral home and say, do you know where this person is buried? If they'll cooperate. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Oh, now we need to get the crocodile, because I'm going to cut out the big hole puncher there. That's just like the regular hole punchers that you usually can get. So we're just going to punch that right here. Always get something up in the middle, and we'll punch the hole out. So it's easier to hold a ribbon. Now you could do eyelets in this if you want. I chose not to. But here we go. That's what I needed for my, get all that out of the way. That's what I needed to hold this shut. I can get some ribbon. I can get some string. I got some extra string in here. Let's see what this will do. Actually, I'll run my ink a little bit over that. Oh. That one got kind of chewed up. Sometimes it chews them up. You just have to do a little trim work on there. But yeah, you put your string in here and tie you a bow or a knot. You can put a ribbon, whatever you feel like. These have been all over the internet. I've seen them everywhere. Everybody was doing them. I think my string's a little too tiny. A little too delicate. But close enough. So you got the idea. And then what we need to do is we can decorate them. Because this one's a little plain. I'm going to put this back in here for now. Yeah, this one's a little plain, and I thought I would do something with that. And I'm going to actually take, let me, hang on a second. Oh, I got a ribbon that comes out of a little box underneath my desk here. So that's what I was going to do. I was going to tie this one shut so it's already ready to go. And yeah, me and my husband, we went out yesterday for my birthday meal. I got a freebie from Golden Corral. So we went out there and had a good meal. Woo. Now, I've seen somebody do this. Let me try this and see how it works. I mean, I tied a knot, but then they go under it one more time. Let's try that. and go like that. And actually, yeah, it holds it shut a whole lot better where you're not fighting. Okay. And I don't have to really force it. I didn't put enough string into that, I don't believe. But yeah, that idea worked really good. Okay. So we're going to get us out some goodies to decorate. It's probably smaller stuff, so maybe something out of that one. I've got these little tiny guys. I love them. They're curator, I believe. I've got all my little words right there. It tells me who's who, especially since that's green. Oh, that's perfect. There's another green. I mean, I could have a green over on the other side. Let's do that. That green almost matches, so let's put that one over here. We're going to put a little guy from here, just to give it like a little patchwork look, you know. And this one had so many pieces in the kit, you know, y'all hardly ever run out of it. Let's see, that one, actually that green might be a better green because it goes with that right there. You had circles, you had little label like guys in here. So there was all kinds of different ones. Like, there's like a little red label. Maybe that'll go on this side. And that red kind of goes with that red, so that might work. There, see, we're getting it. We're getting it. Let's see what else I can put in here, though. I'd like to have like a number, a letter kind of deal. What else do I have? Maybe this. I've got 1913. That'll work. What else is in here? I think these are too big. All right. I think this is what we're going to use. So let's get all of our labels. I think I might not do anything on this side since I got the big rose there. Well, Friday, we went to Mingo Courthouse again and did a little bit of research. We did deeds this time. Before we were doing birth, death, and marriages. So we were working on some deeds, and I never really found a good deed. I mean, I like to get those that have, yes, about locations, places, landmarks. You were lucky they put a person's name in the ones I was looking at. But we were trying to figure out where some of the people were located and what they were doing or who was beside them, that kind of thing. So we worked there for a while, and then we went to eat and then headed back to Furby's. Let's see, that one's a little on the long side. Maybe I need to put him up there. So, yeah, it was a pretty successful trip. I was surprised we got as much done as we did. And, I mean, it's a lot of running, a lot of, you know, figuring out if somebody's here, if somebody's there. Like, he had three people, or one person for this Williamson Cemetery that we had to go to. Well, it ended up, we found 3 people there. And I don't know where it may be not a funeral home that he's not familiar with or had checked out or something along those lines. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting trip. He's trying to get the one updated book out, and then I need to send him some more obituaries if I find them in my phone and get that out of the way. Okay, I think I'm going to do like right there, and then that one's done. Oh, and I'll tell you, all that hiking really got me into shape. I mean, I was drinking my water. You know, I don't know if you knew about Went to the doctor before I left, and he gave me some bad news. Really bad news. My A1C was out of whack. Really badly out of whack. So I needed to start eating better again. And doing better. Exercising, eating better, drinking better. All the betters. You know. Oh, Lord. So I got that kind of started on my trip, and I didn't do that bad going up those mountains and hills and things like that. Oh, there was plenty of them. We had 2 or 3 that we had to map again or add to the maps that we'd already done before. Oh, I kind of like that. And so we had quite a few things to accomplish. The one cemetery we did not get to was because I think they were going to be burying somebody there. And so we didn't want to go up there and disturb anything. We could always get it on the next trip. Some of what we were getting was going to be for, a future trip. Not for the books that we were trying to update and finish. So. Okay, do that. Go see about putting that little circle up there. Something different. Been trying to catch up on all my videos too. I've still got quite a few I haven't gone through. I've been trying to do one person at a time because, the little red dot, I have a little red dot, tells me when they got a new video out. So the little red dot disappears and I'm going to forget. I'm good at that. Okay, now what we want to do is try to figure out where to put these. If we're going to do both, if we're going to do one. I've also got all of these little guys to go in the book. I had the paper clip, the altered paper clip. That did not come out. Alright, so I have some little windows in here and some columns or something. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. Then I have this. I did a video on it. It's a log cabin. It's a log cabin square, but you cut it out to where you have these little tuck spots in it. Plus, you can make it a pocket or a big tuck this way, depending on how you glue it down. I have a tag here. A tag, or a journal card, I should say. And that's sort of the Art Deco that I was talking about earlier. That, I don't know what you'd call it. But I have 2 of these that I did way back when. I think I have a video on them as well. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them in here. I may use one. But they're a pocket. It's like book page. And you dye it. And then you glue it shut. And then you decorate your front. And I had this real pretty thin lace that I was able to do that with. This is another kind of a tag or a pocket or something. I think it was an appointment card that I covered. But it could be a tuck, like a pocket or something. This is a matchbook here. That's, that was just a little something that could go down somewhere. I don't know that I like the black, though. But this was about horsemen, and she's getting up on her horse. And it's just got some little piece of paper in it. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Oh, here's the horseman again. I don't know, maybe I could do that on the same page or something. So it sort of goes together. Here is I don't think you'd call it a double journal card. It's got pockets in it, so I'm not sure exactly what you would call that. That was some leftovers from one of my earlier Stamperia packs. And here's just a tag or a journal card. This is those tickets that I saw Lorette Chandler do. And I don't know about putting those in there. I probably will. I may save that for a shabby chic journal. And I had made this a while back. I think that was Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. I saw making those. And this was my hot cross bun pocket. I think that's what I called it. Let me find my little tag back here. So the process, or the way you use this, was you could go all the way up under there. Or you could tuck something in here. Or you could tuck it in, like under that one, and have that one in between kind of deal. Like that. It was all these different ways you could use it. But I do have a video on that. Hot cross bun pocket. So what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to glue this down. These, I'm not sure what we're doing with them. I don't know if I'm going to use this, but I'll pull it to the side. And all the rest of this is ephemera that will go into a pocket. So we're going to set that up here, out of the way. So, these few things here. Now, one of these may go into a shabby chic journal. Not both of them. So, let's see what we got and how we like it. So, where's my book? So, let's see. What do I want where? I'm trying to be as bulkless, bulkless as possible in this thing. Now, here's the thing. I like to cover the Burger King information up. So, what about that there? And it pretty much covers it all. Let's do that. It's nice and flat. It's got the colors I need. I'm not going to... How am I doing it? Well, I can turn it around, can I? Am I upside down or right side up? Oh. Who knows? Let me wipe that off real quick. I think I might make it a tuck as well. Bad Rhoda, bad. Bad. Think before you glue. Think before you glue. Alright, I think it's pretty dry. Alright, we're going to go this side. Because I want the opening to be on the right. Going in this way. Alright. So we're going to put that down as good as we can. Figure out where the middle was. About right here. I think it's good. Yeah. And actually, I could get in here and put me a little thumb notch. So I know what that is. Okay. Good job. Got that taken care of. Just got to get it down. Make it stay. Alright, that's accomplished. That's in there nice. And next, it's going back in here. I need to find a place to put my big tag. So it needs to be something tall. And then I need something, you know, like that. Because I'm not going to be able to write on that. It is a bag already. And so does that look better? Or does this look better? That takes about all of that. And it's got a lot of these greens and stuff over here. So I think I like this one. And we'll use that other one in a shabby chic journal. Now remember, we're going to only glue this down with what I've got here on the back of the, what do they call this? A tag belly band or something? I'm not exactly sure, to tell you the truth. Alright. So we're just going to do that. Give it a good glue. And prop it down right here. Let's see. We're going to... I still want the little ladies' faces to show, so I think I'm going with where it is right there. Alright. Good, good, good. I think it's sticking down good. The paper bag sometimes sucks in your glue, so you might have to go back and re-glue. Or put a good bit of glue to begin with, or fabric tack. And fabric tack is pretty good. All right, I think that's good. It looks about even with the edge here to me, so I think we're good with that. All right. Plus, you can see some of the blue. That's what you kind of want. What you can see in the background will add to the page that you're on at the moment. So, good, 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 good. I'm not crazy about the tie because it's a tad bulky. I might fix that. I don't know. I have to do something. All right. Let's see. Am I still in the first? I think I'm still in the first signature. Okay, so we'll go back to this one and put these other two items. See if that'll work. I was trying to do a special effect, a mixed media effect here, where you put ink down. I was using one of my my distress, not markers, crayons. I put it down. I smeared it out with water. And then I tried to put a stencil over top of it and use a baby wipe and wipe it up. It sort of worked. Can you see it? It didn't do too bad, but it was sort of taken away from the actual paper fibers. It was kind of pulling them up. And then I just kind of stamped over it to give it, you know, something. Give it something. All right, what have I got in here that I can put my goodie on? And see, I don't like being able to see the stamping through here. So that might be a good spot for that, is it? I've got dark over here, and I needed dark over here, so I think we're going to go with that. Oh! This was a Victorian double journal pocket by Lorette Chandler. 6/23/2021. Okay, I think I'll save that other one for my, oh, what did I do with it? For my my ideas journal. Since I've got the name of it and everything here. I'm gonna just go all the way down. I'm not gonna try to make an extra pocket or anything. I want it to stick really well. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm going to have some bulk with those the bling button thingies there, but oh well. Okay. Okay, I need one more spot for this little girl. But I want to save some room in case I want to write. I don't know if I'm keeping this or what I'm doing with it. You know, it's one of those things. Oh, now see, that would be perfect. Because I can cover up all that writing. Yeah. I've got a nice kind of place over here that would... The only thing is, it's kind of the wrong side. Oh, are you kidding me? See, this side would be more up to where I could tuck in from this angle. Oh, let me see. Let me keep going. Let's see if I see anything else. What about here? But I don't know if the colors... Huh. That wouldn't be too bad. The colors don't really align with each other, but let's keep going. Oh, what about here? It's one of those things. It has to hit you just right. That one is perfect, but I need to have it. Let's see about the cookies. Oh, can I cover up the cookies enough? And I may be able to put something down here to cover that. Okay, this is going to be it. This is the spot. Now, I think I'm going to make it to where you can tuck something in. So I'm going to round this corner so I know that is a tuck side corner. That's kind of like my little information to myself. So I'm going to only be going down here and here like an L shape. As you can see, I utilized some packaging and just did my little strips of paper on that. Now I may try to find this this video for you, and I will put it on my end screen at the very end for you to see. Alright, let's see if that'll do it. Okay, and then how this works is you have like a journal card or something that's going to go all the way down in it, and you could have something tucked into like something like that, or it can be tucked into that part out here at an angle. Now, I told you I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this. I'm going to go ahead and put a little brown on the outside, and I'm going to cover up my cafe while we're here. And I got this one little piece. See how dark she is? Her little hose and like part of her face and everything. I think this will go perfect. Maybe put a little bit of warmer color in here, because this is like a warm shade on the outside. Okay. And that was a vintage photo I just added. So we're going to do this. The outside here. And that's all she wrote. If you want to use paper bags, you have all these paper bags laying around, you don't know what to do with them, make a journal out of them. I mean, you can add other pretty pages, as you see what I did. I added quite a few other pages in here. And you want to debulk your bag, so you want to cut the bottom off of it. So you can always, glue it shut again. Like this shorter one here, I could add something to hang off at the side. If I had a side tuck or something, or I just wanted like a large tag to hang off of it and glue it down, you could do that as well. Plus, if you wanted to have a spot to tuck anything, you could do it under there. So let's see what we got. Now, I was gluing that one little piano key down because he was kind of stuck up. But I do have like that. Oh, that might be a good spot for that. It's not much of a tuck, but let's see. It's either that or this. Now, both of them have gold, so that's good because there's a gold edge on that ribbon. I just have to put something in there. Let's see how that ribbon wants to roll with me. I don't think it wants to cooperate. I should have glued it on the back side, but I didn't. I could actually get up under there and extend it a little bit and glue. Put a little glue on like a piece of paper and stick it. Let's try that. Alright, I got this little piece right here. And it's actually got some flour or something on the back side of it. But I like these little words. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue right here. And I'm going to try to pick this up and tuck it under there. And it's going to glue down to that ribbon. And then when I tuck something under there, it's only going to hit the back side of this. It's more of a... It's not exactly a cardstock weight, but it's really close. So I'm going to put that right there. Come down here and lift that up. And I'm going to go under there just like that. So this darkness goes with this. And it's going to really pull it all in together. Plus that little piece right there was getting abused. It was getting really abused. Alright. So I'm going to push that down. Let's see if it'll stay. Push it all down. I think that fixed that problem. I still have my pretty ribbon. But I don't have to worry about the problem that I had before. Okay. So, I think we were very successful with what we did this time. Like I said, I was wanting to use it for like little examples and how to glue things in. So maybe I'll come up with more pockets and things for the next time. And we'll go about decorating it some more and filling in some more of these things into the journal. All right. Well, I thank you for coming to visit. I hope I didn't go over. I can't see the time. So I hope you enjoyed yourself and got to see a few things and enjoyed hearing about my adventures off in another world, called West Virginia. So everyone, have a great day. Hope you're your weather is great and you're able to get out and do some spring stuff. And happy Easter if I don't hear from you again or see you again. Bye-bye.